In this video on the Forgotten Kingdom DLC for Remnant 2, I'm going to show you how to get the Thorn long gun. Pretty cool gun's got a little bit of an aimbot feature, right? So this gun isn't particularly easy to get, but you have to play through the entire DLC to do it, and there's very specific things that you need to do. So right at the beginning of the DLC, you can follow along this pathway that leads to where you'll find an egg, a Kuri Kuri, like bird egg. But you have to not pick it up. The first time I played this, playthrough, I picked it up and I had to restart, re-roll, and, come back here again. And this time not pick it up. So when you see the egg, don't loot it, but do remember where it is because we'll be coming to this location at the end of the video to get the gun because this is where you're going to get it. So don't touch it. You're going to play through the story and you have to speak with Walt at every single chance that you get. Speak to him, and I think you have to use all of the dialogue options, including asking the questions. I don't know if the asking the question part is super important, but I would recommend doing it just in case, it doesn't count by the time you get to the end. So find him throughout the game at all the different intervals after defeating little milestone bosses after you go into dungeons. So every time you see him, he will be in the way of you as you're playing your game. So just go ahead and interact with him and keep that up. The very first time that you find Lydusa, she will instruct you to find the piece of her that's missing. Now there is a very important part that you have to do is once you find that missing piece, you have to not go ahead and defeat Lydusa immediately. You have to return to Walt, right? So we don't have the piece just yet, but we do speak with Walt just before we find the piece, which is in the Luminous Veil. So in the Luminous Veil, you'll find Walt 2 different times through a dungeon here and there. So you'll find him here this is the Primal Hollow area, but just like I said, play through the story. You'll speak with him every single time you see him. Right after you get to the Luminous Veil and you're able to unlock the temple, this one over here with the hands, this is where you're going to pick up the Cherished Fracture, which is the item that Lydusa is missing. It's also the item that is used to end the game in a few different endings, right? So what you're going to do now is not go ahead and go to Lydusa. If you do that, you've ruined it. It's game over. Instead, you need to go to the Primal Hollow, which is the very final location that you spoke to Walt at. So from that checkpoint, you'll be able to run down the road and you will find him super easily standing over here. Go ahead and speak with him. He's not going to have too much dialogue, but use all of his dialogue. But the very important thing is that this dude is going to do something to you, right? So when you finish the talking here and you tell him you're done, and he says, "Goodbye, friend," walk away from him and he's going to stab you. He's going to stab you and he's going to turn you to stone because this is what happens when you die, when you have the Cherished Fracture. A pretty cool little thing that happens. So he's going to leave. He's going to go to the boss. Now you have to go to the boss as well. This is at the Bloodless Throne. This should be as a quest marker on your map, so you should be able to get here pretty easily. Once you do get here, you'll see a cutscene between him and her, and I'm not going to really spoil and go all into that, but essentially defeat the boss. Once you've defeated the boss, you're going to go back to the beginning of the game where that egg was, and you're going to make your way there, and this time you're going to see a bird, right? And the bird is going to spit something out. This is an item that you need to craft the gun. So go ahead and pick it up. At least try to pick it up. So pick it up. This is what it is. Once you have this, you're going to go ahead and you're going to return to Ward 13. And at Ward 13, you're going to make your way to this lady over here inside the big warehouse. You speak to her, ask her what you can craft. There you can see the Thorn long gun. The information is right there on the screen if you want it, but you should get it in your game yourself. And now we're going to do a little bit of a test with it to show you what it looks like, how much DPS it does, fully upgraded. It wasn't particularly overwhelming for me. I was like, okay, I've got guns that are way stronger, but the aimbot thing is kind of cool. I guess maybe there's some other things that this gun can do that I'm not aware of after just a couple minutes just playing around with it. So it's up to you. Go ahead, get it. It's a cool new weapon to try out at least. So have a good one. Thanks for watching.